What's good, gente? Thank you guys once again, like always, for tuning in. As you guys can see on the thumbnail and on the title, right? Badass Snoop. Was he talking about Jay Hands? And I honestly said I should have added or your boy Conejo, right? Because I did get a lot of people after my live messaging me and hitting me up, right? Like, hey, bro, was old boy referring to you or what was actually going down? So Badass Snoop ended up doing a live with Hector, and I mean on that live he said it straight up that that's the only person that he's fucking with right now. So I guess it's a no go for Flacco and for all these other dudes that have had him on in the past, right? He's pretty much letting people know that he's not in good terms with these dudes. So he's like, I'm just messing with you. And I did check out that video, and I'm honestly gonna be able to answer some questions for you guys. So before I even get started, man, I would highly appreciate if you guys hit a like, subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell, right? That notification bell is really important because that's when we go live, and I do plan to do a live reaction to that live if I'm still able to do it, right? If it doesn't get taken down or whatever, we're gonna do a live reaction because there's a couple things that I'm not gonna throw on this video because that's gonna be reserved for the unrated and the uncensored on the EBK live, man. So you guys already be knowing. Make sure to subscribe to both platforms so you don't miss out, right? And with all that being said, let's get right into it. So I ended up tuning into Old Boy's live. It was already done, of course, right? But I ended up tuning in because I had a lot of people messaging me like, "Hey, is Old Boy referring to you on his video?" And after watching it, I mean, I can easily say no, right? I mean, there could have been some little parts that I will refer on the live, so that people can see that I'm being fair. Because I think he was talking about multiple people on that live. But there was something that was thrown out there real clear, right? That he had said where old boy had 100 and something subscribers, and at the end of the day they only get like 10,000 views or something like about that, right? And that clearly put it towards Jay, right? So he was referring to him, especially when he was saying that he made it seem like he was working for the cops and shit. Yeah, that's actually referred to old boy Jay Hands. So for the ones that didn't know, I mean, and that way I can get people to stop messaging me on that. We will be doing a live reaction though, because there was a lot of things that I will be pointing out on that video, right? Because old boys, he did come out on that thing like looking a little bit different, man, from what his usual look is, right? And as you guys can see, man, yeah, we have him on hold right there. We have him on hold. Like, hey, man, did old boy reach out to you? I'll get into all that right now, man, so don't even trip. But pretty much on that live, Snoop wanted to make it clear, man, that he wasn't a victim and he didn't appreciate people putting him out like that, right? That those weren't his intentions of those videos. It wasn't pretty much to either glorify or nothing, right? But he was pointing out some of the flaws that I guess he will be using on court, right? Where he is put in a predicament that he should have been out. I'm actually gonna agree on that little part that he should have been out a long time ago, bro. But there was a couple of things, man, that he said through that video, man, that actually had me tripping. I know gente, they're like, Pinche Conejo, you should have put the little clip. We're gonna do a live reaction, homie. Don't even worry about that. We will be doing a live reaction. Because old boy did look a little bit like, what the fuck? Like something's going on, right? But I'll remind you, even though people are slammed down or put in certain spots, you got to remember, man, some of those spots are flooded. And I'm not going to get into the details, of course, right? But as you guys were able to see, man, Snoop's is kind of having a good time. He ain't really tripping. And this is something that a lot of prisoners end up doing, bro. They make the best out of any situation, right? So for the ones that were wondering, hey, is this fool on a good one? Hey, it could also be his medication. We'll just go with that, right? And he did make a couple of things clear, which I mean, I got confused on another thing, which I'll bring up right now. But he did make a couple of things clear, at least for the gente, that he was only fucking with old boy Hector and that he was only doing business with him, at least when it comes to YouTube. He ended up blocking people. I don't know who ended up reaching out to him. Well, I know a couple for sure. Flacco, that's a for sure. And he probably got blocked, right? He's like, don't be sending flicas over here, G. Yeah, nah. I'm just talking shit. You never know, man. Maybe even Jay try to reach out, especially now that he's going against all this gangs and not wanting people to be able to bail out and stuff like that. I might make a video about it. I don't know. I would actually have to see exactly what videos he's actually saying all this, because I don't watch his stuff like that. I only react to stuff where people end up sending me clips, and I actually got some clips, man. So make sure to stay tuned towards the end. I will be playing them out. I ended up finding some of those classics, so stay tuned, right? But like I was saying, maybe Jay did reach out to him and try to like, hey, bro, you want to come on the thing? And I do have a big platform. And it was clear, right? It was actually clear as soon as I was watching the video that it was actually mostly referring to Jay Hands, bro. And like I was saying earlier, I don't want to forget about that and I'll bring it up again. I was confused because I honestly thought him and Hector were somewhat cool, but if he's having these conversations with Snoop, I mean, let's be real. Do you guys think that Hector sent old boy those videos? Or what happened, right? I mean, there has been videos where they collab together, so maybe there is a good relationship. But you guys know when it comes to Snoop, he gets a little bit jealous, homie, especially with the people that he's associating with. He kind of likes to take control of who they actually are cool with, right? So I don't know. I honestly don't know on that one, and that's why I had said I was a little bit confused. But like I was saying, man, maybe Jay tried to reach out and oh boy did shot him down. And it was clear that on that video, he didn't appreciate a couple of things, right? And he did throw a couple shots at Jay. I will be doing a live reaction, like I said, bro. There was funny moments on that live. Not just the glove. I know people were bringing up the whole glove, like it was up with the boy, right? Maybe the facility allows people to customize gloves. I don't think, at least when I was doing time, I never seen someone wear those little gloves like that. But oh boy, seemed to be on a good one, bro. And I know a lot of people were kind of tripping, like, hey, fool, what's up with this dude, right? You guys gotta understand, man. Just because people are locked up, it doesn't mean or put in lockdown or whatever. It doesn't mean that they don't got access to certain things or certain medication. And it did seem to be that old boy's trying to make the best out of his time. G, he's trying to make the best out of his time. There's some questionable moments that I will be getting into on the live, so make sure to stay tuned in for that. I'm debating if I should drop this on Conejo's profiles or EBK family. I might do it on the EBK family, man. This is an EBK family video, but we do have to actually make sure to tune into the live, man. I'm thinking of doing a live reaction for tonight with old boy Sting, right? So hopefully we don't get copyrighted and we have a blast, homie. I will be pointing out some things, of course. Snoop, man, he wanted to make it clear, man, that he's not a victim, G. And I felt that it was only right to allow him to speak his own words, man. So I am going to give him a little bit of time to actually say what he has to say. So I hope you guys don't mind, right, gente? Dispensa. But let me add him to the screen so that he can tell you guys how he feels, man. Straight up.
Feel compelled to confront is that I believe there was some comment, and one of these obsessed fanatics of mine has their own channel, and from what I heard, this schmuck is acting like he works for the district attorney's office or something, and he was conveying something about me playing the victim card, and that within itself, it had me appalled. I was appalled to hear that because this jailhouse schmuck.
Hold on, Snoop. Hold on, man. You actually got to let the gente know who you talking about, G. I know you in the past you called a couple people schmucks, Holmes. So people get confused, right? So for the gente that are wondering, right, who's he referring to? He does get a little bit more into detail, right? I will be doing a live reaction. Of course, there's still more words that he has to say. And Snoop, don't get upset, homie. I know you don't like to be waiting. I know you don't like to. Yeah, I know you're on hold right now, but I know you don't like to wait, homie. So let's let him get it back on the platform and let us finish hearing what he has to say, man. Dispense that way. My bad.
Just a couple years ago, was trying to identify himself as one of my compadres. You know, trying to literally utilize my movement as a platform to propel whatever he had going on at the time. And so I felt, it's my duty, it's my responsibility to my people to make sure that I confront this inconsistency.
And it's my job, Spencer, man. Spencer, I had to put him back on hold. Yeah, you're gonna have to hold wait. My bad. And it's my job to actually answer some of the actual questions for the subscribers because a lot of people are kind of confused. There's a lot of new viewers, man, that don't know what the hell's going on. So on that part right there, it's clear that he's referring to Jay, of course, right? I didn't know at first when he first came out that he was already someone that had stepping back and hey, respects, man. He wanted to go home. It is what it is. But he ended up going out that way, and when he got out, wanted to use the whole writer movement as his little rap career to kind of kick it off, right? And I didn't know none of these things. So that's what he's referring to, right? I guess there's a couple of people that had gotten messages like, "Hey, I'm gonna promote this, right?" Like, whoa, and he had gotten the okay from Snoop because I believe Jay actually has some messages where old boy was had told him that hey, he could do that, right? Because in some way he wanted some type of promotion. But let's get Snoop back in here, man. I don't want him to get upset. Way let's get him back on.
Ironically, I wasn't aware of how popular I was on YouTube at the time. So I kind of made this schmuck kind of popular because people were wondering who this putz was. Because nobody knew who this guy was. He actually probably had like a couple hundred people on his channel at that time. It wasn't until he had my name in his mouth and my movement in his tonsils that people started gravitating towards him to hear, what he was saying or who the schmuck was. But
And dispensa, yeah. Hey, brothers, you're gonna have to hold a little bit more because I do gotta clear out some things. Because that's when people started kind of thinking that he was referring to me, right? Like, hey, you guys have, I got those funny ass clips, homie, of him actually punching the air and stuff like that, right? But no, he was actually referring to some videos that might not be up on YouTube no more. I believe Jay Hands ended up deleting a lot of videos or putting them on private members. I don't know what he did with them, right? But he has some actual bangers, bro, where they actually put Snoop, where he's actually getting beat up by the Bulldogs and by other groups, right? And at that time, since Old Boy was a little popular on YouTube or people wanted to hear about him, right? Which I'll actually say that wasn't the real case, right? I was just kicking off my channel and it was kicking, man. It was actually kicking and Flacco was trying to get some shine out of that, right? So he ended up bringing Snoop, to answer some questions when it comes to his movement. You know what I mean? But you guys seen how all that shit ended up turning out. This fan saw Snoop. Let's get him back on so we can finish hearing what he has to say. I do apologize, gente.
what I want to convey is this, okay? Anyone who knows me knows that I don't play. So I wasn't playing anything, okay? I wasn't playing no type of card because, frankly, I don't play cards.
Shit, he don't play cards. He don't play games. You guys seen the video, and if you guys haven't, go check it out on Conejo's profiles, and you guys will see, man, that old boy ain't playing, man. He's with that activity, gente, and it shows the actual video, man. So if you guys do want to see it, make sure to go check it out. But with that being said, gente, I hope I was able to answer some questions. The ones I did miss out on, I will do a live reaction, gente. So make sure to tune in tonight. I'm thinking 7:30, so make sure to tune in. And you guys already been knowing, man. Hit that like, subscribe, hit that follow, hit that notification bell. Anything that helps out the channel, man, I do appreciate. Real talk. And by hitting the notification bell, you won't miss out, especially on this live reaction. So with all that being said, man, this is your boy Conejo. Catch you guys on the next one or on the live. We out.
You know what I'm saying? And just so people know, E.B.K is a certified compadre.
Chales, homie. Don't throw that in there.
And I'm like...